All right, everybody. So let's just take a look at the markets. We see that Nat Gas and Bitcoin are the strongest markets, with Bitcoin jumping to a new 366-day higher high. Very strong, gapped up. Something's going on here, right? So this is very important to take a look at. And you're also making 20-day higher highs. On the weakness side, it's this bean oil making 84-day lower lows. Besides that, we all know RTY is weak and NQ is strong. So tech's strong, small caps weak. And bean oil 84-day lower lows, already mentioned. Currencies, Euro 20-day higher highs, and Bitcoin 366-day higher highs. I think I mentioned that. And that's about it. So what does this mean? It means it's time to look at Bitcoin. If with this much relative strength, the shorts don't like to be in front of a freight train, you see. And that's it. So now let's end the other one. Yes. So on crude, as you can see here, this selling wave is very strong. And first pullback, second pullback, just testing. You see these pullbacks, pullback positions. They're in that resistance area, and guess what? This is exactly where you get your change of behavior. So this is a tough situation because of this situation right here. This is as bearish as it gets. You cannot go to resistance in a pullback position after a rally, meaning rally down, pull back, bear pullback, and then have a change of behavior. That'll set up the next down rally. So this is looking really bad for crude. And this is also why I think this failed. The attempt today at accumulation, there was an attempt at accumulation, intraday attempt at accumulation crude, that failed. I thought it was going to hold because you had this big buy rally, comes back to this point of support with heavy buying, the demand area, holds the pullback, holds the pullback, holds the pullback, and then just busts right through. So I'm going to show you what happened here. It's really important because you want to see that failed accumulation attempt. And make no mistake, this was an accumulation attempt because it was holding the pullback above, on top of that heavy buying area, using that as support, and it was going sideways and all that, and then just broke down. So very important to note that. How it happened, why it happened, all that crap. So as the market was in that pullback position, the buyers stepped in right here, where you see the buying, this was in the morning, where the buying wave is about, it's morning, so you're going to have a lot of volume anyway. And then it holds, and then it holds, and then boom, right here, it's attempting to break out. So you have that initial volume, hold, up, and this is where it died, right here, where you said 2000, the buying pressure just not there. So you have that buying, initial buying or covering or whatever at support, right? But as they're trying to get above this area, and as they're even approaching it, the volume just evaporates. It's just ones and twos, basically twos. It goes from 7 to 5 to 2. Here, 7, 5, and 2. Look at the blues. It's just not there. So this was the problem. So this was a failed, in my opinion, the market went down, went to support. As it went to support, it failed in the accumulation attempt. And when they fail, they just dump it, and that's what caused the shit to happen. That's the way I'm reading it, because this was the area where they started covering or buying. That started increasing in volume. Anyway, all right. So let's take a look at ES. ES is basically breaking the lows, bearish. All right, so it went up, pull back, and then breaks the lows on increasing volumes. So we have some pullback opportunities. as soon as it gets into that pullback area, that's where you're going to see the selling change of behavior. That's what happens, because buying the pullback and selling the pullback just means there's big volume waves on the higher time frame pullbacks, right? So you just have to detect them. And to see if smart money is buying the pullback. So here you have this pullback. Pretty bearish though. As soon as it gets into the range, it's going to start, I'll get the indications that we're in the area where to look for heavy buying pressure. I guess this could be it. I'm not really sure. This 101,000. I don't know. It's just the end of the day. Anyway, so tomorrow's a new day. We'll see what happens, what sets up. Again, like this, I'll explain what I'm doing here. A second. So in any higher time frame, right? What do you have in any trend? You have rally, pullback, rally, pullback, rally, pullback. Now I understand this is an oversimplification because we all know it's never this clean. But the idea is this: when you have a rally, you wait for a pullback, right? So let's analyze this. So this pullback is going to look on a lower time frame, will look like this. When it reaches this level, you'll have your trend change, and then it'll go green. So the idea is just to, wait for the pullback and then look for this change. It's just one simple way of doing it. Now, I know it's easier said than done. One easy way to do this, because using wave charts, I understand it's really hard, but there are other ways to do this as well. There's plenty of ways. You can even do this on point and figure, and I'm showing this basically X, 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 and it goes O, O, when it's right above here, it's at support. So usually you'll get right here or here. The market will have a tendency to rally as soon as it fills this with O's up to this high. As soon as it fills, and sometimes it goes within the range. This was the prior high. So as soon as it gets on top of the high or within the range, you will notice that this market is then in pullback position. That's the first thing to notice. The second thing to notice is typically after it gets into pullback position, there's going to be one more pullback, meaning and then you're going to have the break. Why? Because the market has to build cause. The market has to build cause is just like saying that there's going to be reaccumulation. So Here's your first pullback. Here's the second pullback, right? And you can look for buying opportunities on these pullbacks. You can definitely look for pullback buying opportunities, right? But just note what is the pullback? Pullback is when it goes on top of or into that prior range. It has to be right on top of or in that prior range. Then it's in a pullback position. Typically, if it goes within that prior range, it has a very high degree of, when it reverses, of like busting right out. All right, so the pullbacks typically are at that same level or one below. So it would look like this, or it would look like, oh shit. So imagine there was no O here. It was X's, two O's, then XX, and then OO, and it went here and then bang. So it's either at the same level or at one below the pullback. The current pullback is at the same level as the prior pullback or one below, and then it busts right through. So typically what I'm trying to say here is when one pullback happens, you will not get the rally. It happens after at least two pullbacks, usually because there's cause development. All right, and I'll show you examples, like clear ones. See, like right here, you have first pullback, second test pullback, third, and now it's and then what happened? Change in behavior. All right. So yeah, and you will get pullback failures too. I mean, it'll pull back one, two, and then it fails and then breaks down the other way. So that happens all the time. But here's another example. Here you have pullback one, and you have pullback two, then you get a break. Here you just have one and a break, but typically there's cause development and then there's the break. There's just some examples to think about. Anyway, I'm done. Have a good night. Bye.